The Deception. The Vidian Empire's survey vessel, Celestial Seeker, drifted silently at the edge of the Sol system, its obsidian hull absorbing rather than reflecting light. Commander Vrax stood on the command deck, his scaled skin shimmering under the blue ambient lighting, as he studied the holographic display of the third planet. "Another primitive world," he remarked, mandibles clicking in disappointment. "Scan complete, High Commander. The species calls themselves humans. They've achieved nuclear capability and basic orbital technology, but no signs of FTL development." High Commander Nexera nodded, her 6 eyes blinking in sequence, a gesture of mild interest. "Population: approximately 8 billion. They've established rudimentary colonies on their moon and neighboring planet, but nothing substantial. Their most advanced vehicles use chemical propulsion." Nexera's mouthparts formed what passed for a smile in her species. "Perfect. They're unified under a planetary government." "Yes, something called the Earth Confederation, formed just 20 years ago." "Excellent. Unified primitives are so much easier to process. Mark them as Category 3, pre-FTL civilization, with limited space presence. Prepare first contact protocols." Lieutenant Zexel input the commands, adding Earth to the Empire's extensive database of worlds targeted for integration. In Vidian terms, integration meant resource extraction, limited technology sharing, and eventual absorption into the Empire's growing collection of servant worlds. "Dispatching diplomatic corvette Benevolent Light for first contact. ETA 3 standard cycles," Zexel announced. "Maintain surveillance position. I want detailed scans of their military capabilities, resource concentrations, and power hierarchies," ordered Nexera. "Standard procedure. We'll offer them protection from non-existent threats, technological advancement in exchange for resources, and they'll be grateful for our benevolence." The bridge crew worked efficiently, cataloging Earth for the Empire's vast hunger. None suspected they were being watched. 5 kilometers beneath the Pacific Ocean floor, Admiral Helena Chen sat motionless in the command center of subterranean base Odyssey. The massive underground facility housed Earth's true military command, hidden from orbital surveillance. On the primary display, the Vidian vessel appeared as a glowing red dot against the black of space. "They took the bait," General Marcus O'Cuffer said beside her. "Every sensor reading they're getting is exactly what we want them to see." Chen nodded, her expression unchanged. 20 years of preparation for this moment. How long until their diplomatic vessel arrives? 3 days, Admiral. The surface governments are ready to play their parts. And our assets. Okafor brought up a different display showing green dots scattered throughout the solar system and beyond. Fleet elements are in position, hidden in the gravity shadows where their sensors can't penetrate. The lunar shipyards are operating at full capacity. The Jupiter and Saturn facilities report all systems nominal. Admiral Chen stood, straightening her uniform. "Prep the surface delegation. I want our most convincing officials ready to play the role of awestruck primitives. Dr. Nakamura will lead the scientific team. She's perfected that wide-eyed innocent look." And the timeline. "Let them think they're in control. We'll allow 3 weeks of diplomatic exchange, then sign their integration treaty with appropriate ceremony." Chen's eyes hardened. "And then we show them humanity's real face." The Vidian diplomatic corvette Benevolent Light descended through Earth's atmosphere 2 days later, its sleek purple hull gleaming in the sunlight as it approached the designated landing zone in Geneva. Inside, Ambassador Thraxus adjusted his ceremonial armor and addressed his staff. "Remember, these primitives have never encountered a spacefaring civilization before. They'll be awed, perhaps frightened. Project benevolence and strength in equal." Mbeki maintained a careful expression of deference. "We are honored by the Empire's attention and look forward to learning from your advanced civilization." Behind her, Dr. Yumi Nakamura, Earth's leading scientist, clutched her tablet with apparent nervousness. Military officers stood at parade rest, their uniforms deliberately designed to look ceremonial rather than practical. The Empire rewards those who recognize its wisdom, Thraxis declared. We will guide your development and protect you from the many dangers that lurk between stars. President Mbeki bowed again. We request time to prepare our people for such monumental changes. This is all very overwhelming for us. Of course, Thraxis replied magnanimously. The Empire understands the shock of first contact. You may have 3 of your weeks to prepare your population. Then we will begin the integration process. That evening, while the Vidian delegation rested in their luxury accommodations, Dr. Nakamura entered what appeared to be a standard elevator in the Geneva complex. As the doors closed, she placed her palm on a hidden scanner. Authorization. Nakamura, Yumi. Clearance, Omega. The elevator descended rapidly for nearly 3 minutes before opening into a vast underground complex. She walked briskly through multiple security checkpoints until reaching a magnetically shielded conference room, where Admiral Chen and other key leaders waited. Report, Doctor, Chen commanded. Nakamura smiled, dropping her meek demeanor completely. They bought it completely, Admiral. Their scans are primitive compared to what we anticipated. They're using gravitational distortion for their FTL, technology we surpassed a decade ago. Weapons assessment, asked General Okafor. Plasma-based energy weapons, standard kinetic barriers, nothing our phase-shift cannons and quantum shields can't handle. Their ships are larger than ours, but far less efficient. They rely on brute force rather than innovation. Admiral Chen brought up a holographic display of the solar system. Throughout it, hidden in asteroid fields, beneath the surfaces of moons, and in specially designed orbital blind spots, Earth's true fleet waited. Nearly 500 vessels of various classes, all equipped with technology the Vidians couldn't imagine. Communications Director, what's the status of our information control? A tall woman in civilian clothes answered. All global networks are displaying only what we want the Vidians to see. Their monitoring systems are picking up carefully curated broadcasts about our primitive space program and are awed at their technology. Perfect. Chen turned to President Mbeki. Madam President, maintain the facade. Show appropriate reverence, but request small concessions to make our supposed capitulation seem more realistic. Mbeki nodded. Of course. I've scheduled a tour of our most advanced space facility in Kazakhstan tomorrow. Dr. Nakamura will show them our chemical rockets and outdated computers. Good. Let them feel superior, Chen said, her eyes cold with determination. In 3 weeks, when they believe we're submitting to their treaty, we'll show them what humanity is truly capable of. The next day, Dr. Nakamura led Ambassador Thraxis and 3 Vidian scientists through the Kazakhstan Space Center. The facility had been carefully prepared. Advanced technology hidden away, replaced with deliberately outdated equipment. Engineers in jumpsuits worked on chemical rockets and primitive satellite designs. This is our most advanced propulsion system, Nakamura explained, gesturing to a rocket engine that would have been cutting edge in the 2020s. We can achieve Earth orbit with it, but interplanetary travel takes us months. The Vidian scientists exchanged looks of barely concealed amusement. Fascinating, one said condescendingly. You use chemical combustion for space travel. How quaint. Nakamura feigned embarrassment. We work with what we know, but we're eager to learn from the Empire. Ambassador Thraxis nodded benevolently. The Empire is generous with its knowledge to loyal worlds. With our guidance, you might develop proper space travel within a century. A century. Nakamura's eyes widened in manufactured awe. That would be extraordinary progress. As they continued the tour, none of the Vidians noticed the subtle signals passing between the human workers, nor the hidden scanners analyzing every detail of the aliens' technology. Beneath their feet, 200 meters below ground, the real Kazakhstan facility hummed with activity. Engineers reverse engineering Vidian tech from the scans, improving upon it. and transmitting the data to Earth's hidden shipyards. In orbit, the Vidian monitoring station Vigilant Eye maintains surveillance, its crew reporting nothing unusual. They failed to detect the quantum-shielded satellites observing them in turn, or the stealth drones collecting data on their capabilities. Throughout the solar system, humanity's true power remained hidden, preparing for the moment of revelation. In darkened command centers beneath the surfaces of Earth, the Moon, Mars, and various moons of Jupiter and Saturn, military personnel monitored the countdown to what they had codenamed Operation Revelation. 3 weeks. 21 days until the Vidian Empire learned that they had not found another primitive species to subjugate, but a technologically superior civilization that had been watching them for years, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal themselves from a position of overwhelming strength. The revelation. The Grand Hall of Nations in Geneva had been transformed for the integration ceremony. Vidian banners hung alongside Earth flags, a symbolic display of the new relationship. Ambassador Thraxis stood on the elevated platform, resplendent in ceremonial armor that caught the light from overhead fixtures. Behind him, a holographic display showed the Vidian fleet, 3 battle cruisers now positioned in Earth orbit as a show of protection and subtle intimidation. Below the platform, Earth's representatives sat in rows, their faces appropriately solemn. President Mbeki approached the ceremonial table where the integration treaty lay, an ornate document that effectively surrendered Earth's sovereignty in exchange for technological advancement and protection. People of Earth, Thraxis' voice boomed through the hall and to billions watching worldwide. Today marks your ascension from isolation into the greater galactic community. Under the Empire's guidance, your world will flourish. Sign this treaty, and the path to the stars will be open to you. President Mbeki picked up the ceremonial pen, her hand steady despite the gravity of the moment. She looked up at Thraxis with what appeared to be reverence. Before I sign, Ambassador, may I address my people one final time as the leader of an independent world. Thraxis gestured magnanimously. Of course, President. The Empire appreciates the significance of this historic transition. Mbeki turned to face the cameras. Her expression remained unchanged, but her words were not what the Vidians expected. People of Earth, for 20 years we have prepared for this moment. The time has come. Authorization code. Prometheus rising. Confusion rippled across Thraxis' features, his mandibles clicking in irritation. What is the meaning of this delay, President? The treaty awaits your signature. Mbeki smiled, dropping all pretense of submission. There will be no treaty, Ambassador. Earth does not require the Empire's protection or guidance. At that moment, throughout the solar system, compartment doors slid open on asteroids, lunar craters glowed with sudden energy, and ocean floors parted to reveal hidden launch bays. On every view screen in the Grand Hall, the image changed to show hundreds of sleek vessels rising from their hiding places, Earth's true fleet revealing itself all at once. Ambassador Thraxis staggered backward. Impossible. Your species has no FTL capability. Actually, Dr. Nakamura said, stepping forward, we developed quantum displacement drive 15 years ago, far more efficient than your gravitational folding technology. In orbit, the 3 Vidian battlecruisers suddenly found themselves surrounded by dozens of Earth vessels that had appeared from nowhere, having dropped their stealth fields simultaneously. Admiral Chen's face appeared on the main screen in the Grand Hall. Ambassador Thraxis, this is Admiral Helena Chen of the Earth Defense Force. Your vessels are currently targeted by phase-shift weapons capable of bypassing your shields. I suggest you order your captains to stand down immediately. Thraxis' expression shifted from shock to rage. This deception will not stand. The Empire will crush your world for this treachery. President Mbeki remained calm. It's not treachery to protect one's sovereignty, Ambassador. The Vidian Empire has subjugated hundreds of worlds by approaching them before they could properly defend themselves. We simply waited until we were ready. On the screens, more data appeared, detailed schematics of Vidian technology. star charts of their territory, and comprehensive analysis of their military capabilities. "We've been studying you for decades," General Okafor explained, joining Mbeki. "Your scout ships never detected our quantum-shielded observatories throughout your territory. We know your strengths and weaknesses better than you know ours." In space, Earth's fleet continued to emerge from hiding places. From Jupiter's moons, massive carriers rose, each housing hundreds of fighter craft. From beneath Mars's surface, artillery platforms capable of launching projectiles at near-light speed powered up their targeting systems. From Earth's oceans, submarine carriers surfaced, launching aerospace craft that accelerated to orbital positions within minutes. On the Vidian flagship Imperial Dominance, High Admiral Zexstar received frantic communications from the 3 battlecruisers in Earth orbit. His mandibles clicked rapidly in distress as the tactical display showed hundreds of unknown vessels surrounding his forces. "Impossible," he hissed. "They were primitive, pre-FTL." His tactical officer's voice trembled. "High Admiral, the human vessels have locked weapons on us. Their technology. Its reading is more advanced than our own. Their drive signatures indicate quantum displacement capabilities we've only theorized about. Retreat. Order all vessels to jump to safe coordinates immediately." The officer hesitated. "Sir, they've established some kind of quantum field around our ships. Our drives can't establish a fold point." On the bridge of Earth's flagship Defiance, Admiral Chen watched the Vidian vessels with calm satisfaction. "Open a channel to High Admiral Zexstar," she ordered. When the Vidian commander's image appeared on screen, Chen spoke with measured authority. "High Admiral, your ships are currently held in our quantum containment field. Attempting to engage your drives will result in catastrophic engine failure. I suggest you power down your weapons and listen carefully." Back in Geneva, Ambassador Thraxis had regained some composure, his initial shock hardening into diplomatic calculation. "What are your demands, humans? Hostage-taking is not how civilized species conduct relations." President Mbeki's expression remained firm. "We're not taking hostages, Ambassador. We're establishing a new relationship, one based on equality, not subjugation. The Vidian Empire will immediately recognize Earth and all its colonies as a sovereign power. Our borders and expansion rights will be respected." "And if we refuse?" Thraxis challenged. General Okafor stepped forward, activating a holographic display. "Then we release the quantum displacement drones we've positioned near 17 of your core worlds, including your homeworld Viridia Prime. Each carries a payload capable of disrupting your planetary defense systems." Thraxis' eyes widened. "You're bluffing. You couldn't have penetrated our core systems undetected." Dr. Nakamura smiled, tapping on her tablet. The hologram shifted to show live feeds from various Vidian worlds, government buildings, military installations, even the Imperial Palace itself. "Our stealth technology is generations ahead of your detection systems, Ambassador. We could have struck at any time over the past 5 years. We chose diplomacy instead." In orbit, the standoff continued. Earth's fleet maintained position around the outmatched Vidian vessels. On the command deck of the Defiance, Admiral Chen received word from Earth. "High Admiral Zexstar." She addressed the Vidian commander. "Your government has received our terms. They have 2 standard hours to respond. I suggest you use this time to consider the benefits of peaceful cooperation." Zexstar's mandibles twitched in barely suppressed anger. "You deceived us." "We protected ourselves," Chen corrected. "Your empire's history of integrating pre-FTL civilizations is well documented. We merely waited until we could negotiate from a position of strength." Hours later, in the Grand Hall of Nations, a new document lay on the ceremonial table. The Treaty of Sol System, recognizing Earth as a sovereign galactic power with all associated rights and privileges. Ambassador Thraxis, under direct orders from the Vidian Emperor, signed with rigid formality. President Mbeki signed next, then offered her hand in the human gesture of agreement. After a moment's hesitation, Fraxis extended his upper appendage to complete the gesture. The Empire is not accustomed to equal partnerships, he admitted grudgingly. You'll find it has its advantages, Mbiki replied. Earth has much to offer as an ally rather than a subject. As the ceremony concluded, Earth's hidden fleet remained visible in orbit, a clear reminder of humanity's true capabilities. Throughout the solar system, additional facilities revealed themselves. Research stations, manufacturing centers, and defensive installations that had been concealed for years. In the command center beneath the Pacific, Admiral Chen and General Okafor watched the treaty signing with satisfaction. 20 years of preparation, Okafor remarked. Was it worth the wait? Chen nodded slowly. Humanity enters the galactic stage not as a conquest, but as a power to be reckoned with. We've changed the course of our species' history, and the Empire. They'll adapt. Their entire strategy relied on technological superiority. Now they've encountered a species that surpassed them by hiding in plain sight. It will force them to reconsider their approach to expansion. On screens throughout the facility, data continued to flow. Intelligence reports from throughout Vidian space, analysis of their technology, and strategic assessments. Earth had revealed its strength, but maintained countless secrets still. As Earth's fleet escorted the Vidian vessels to the edge of the solar system, a new message went out to humanity's hidden outposts among the stars. Colonies and installations established in secret, beyond even the Empire's reach. Operation Revelation complete. Phase 2 begins. Humanity steps onto the galactic stage, not as servants, but as equals. The stars are ours.